Y'all gotta bear with me because I've totally forgotten how to write these scripts. There's a story spanning 25 years, nearly 1100 manga chapters, and 1,000 anime episodes, about Monkey D. Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates searching the world for the mythical treasure, aptly named One Piece. This masterfully written saga has previously only been known to weebs and guys like myself, who hyperfixate on a challenge, but has now made it to the masses of Western media with the live-action adaptation, which, in my opinion, was done incredibly well, barring a few hiccups along the way. If you haven't watched it and enjoy goofy yet emotionally affecting stories of friends on a swashbuckling adventure, go watch it now, because otherwise some of the stuff in this video will make absolutely no sense. And yes, you are seeing this correctly. I am back with a full CMF series for Netflix One Piece. I am very passionate about these characters, and I'm so glad that they are getting the respect they deserve. So why not commemorate that with a video? Which I recognize is something that is uncommon for me nowadays. Let's just get into it. The minifigures are pretty self-explanatory at this point, and of course we'd have to start with the captain, Monkey D. Luffy. I will instead take this time to review an aspect of the show, the first of which being the characters of the Straw Hats. Enoch Godoy was a perfect Luffy. He is more subdued than the original character, but he has that optimism, excitement, and goodwill key to Luffy's background. Luffy is the foundation of the entire world, whose wide-eyed innocence and wonder is what changes the lives of everyone around him. Getting Luffy right was paramount, and they did. Also, his gum-gum stretching was something else, and if you listen closely, you can hear very realistic skin stretching sounds, and it makes the whole experience very uncomfortable. Roronoa Zoro was similarly important, being Luffy's right-hand man, and carrying a lot of the action of the show on his back. And hot diggity dog, Zoro, as portrayed by McKinney, cut a man in half in this show. The physicality of his swordplay was exhilarating, and I think they captured Zoro's quiet drive and recklessness well. He just needs to get lost a few more times to be actually accurate to the character. Nami was a character that I wasn't sold on from the trailers, but wow, did Emily Rudd prove me wrong. She held the emotional core of the Straw Hats perfectly, with her scenes at Arlong Park making me want to tear up more than once. Now that she's fully opened up to the rest of the crew, I can't wait to see her relax a bit in the following seasons and be a part of the team going forward, which usually means robbing those she loves blind. Any complaints I have about Usopp are purely in the writing. I think Jacob Romero did great with the material given, but I don't think the writing did Usopp many favors. For those who were left a little in the dust by the show, Usopp is, at his core, a coward with a heart of gold, and needs to teach himself how to be a brave warrior of the sea. I'm not sure the live action sold that idea perfectly, but here's hoping Season 2 can redeem that a bit. I loved Sanji, full stop. Taz Skylar was perfect in the role, no notes. As a tamer version of the manga Sanji, I am very glad that they retained his core beliefs in kindness and simping for any woman that comes within 50 feet of him. Watching Sanji reignited my passions for things like cooking, generosity, and kicking things really hard in the face. The Marines, in case you weren't aware, did not have as big of a presence in the original story, as the manga is laser focused on the Straw Hats, especially early on. So the subplot, starring Garp and Kobe, was added to have a necessary B-plot running through the show. And I think this was a good inclusion that took too much time away from the Straw Hat crew. Garp and Kobe were both great though, and I like the precedent it sets for future seasons, where other Marines begin to take the spotlight, and boy howdy are there some doozies in that group. It's a bold claim, but Captain Buggy the Clown might be my favorite character in the show. It's either him, Zoro, or Sanji. Maybe Sanji. Probably Sanji. Jeff Ward is obviously incredible, but this gives me a good opportunity to talk about the effects of the show. Not only was every creature, prosthetic, and fight scene really well done, with no real CGI problems that I noticed, Buggy was a standout. His devil fruit, especially in the Chop Chop cannon form, looked incredible. You can tell that time, money, effort, and especially passion was put into making everything in the show look the best it could be, and that makes me happy. Mihawk was a presence, to be sure. The fights in live-action One Piece were good to great, with Mihawk and Zoro's duel at the very top of the list. Sometimes, in scenes, the wire work was a little obvious, But the choreography was mostly solid, and especially in this duel. Stephen Ward stole every scene as this tired, bored celebrity just looking for something to kill the time, and probably something to kill people. Also, as an artist, I hate drawing swords with a passion, and Yoru made me want to chop my head off with Yoru. Arlong was pretty perfect. The villains of the show were a bit of a mixed bag. Why didn't Kuro kill Zoro when he had the chance, Mr. Man of 1,000 Plans? But Arlong brought it all home with such a stellar performance underneath layers of prosthetic gunk. McKinley Belcher was fantastic, and it's a shame that we'll likely never see him again. Arlong's theme, by the way, absolute bop. Also, the rest of the soundtrack is just incredible. I've listened to the whole thing like 3 times now. And lastly, we come to Red-Haired Shanks, captain of the Red-Haired Pirates. For those of you who don't know who Shanks is just yet, buckle up. He's important, to say the least. Like Emily Rudd, I don't think the trailers did Peter Gaudio many favors, but he was great. Not my favorite performance, but like many of the flashback characters, he was instrumental in setting up our heroes' journeys. We'll be seeing a lot of him and his crew in the future, I'm sure of it. There's a few other characters I could have added. Helmeppo, Kuro, Zeph. If you want to see a continuation of this with the characters I missed, just let me know in the comments. But the importance of the Going Merry meant that I would have to include her somehow. With the inspiration of my buddy Figs2Art's Bowie ship, also he just finished a One Piece series on Instagram, which is incredible, I've built a microscale Going Merry. I love how it looks so much, and I appreciate how the crew brought the Merry to life in the show. It blows my mind that right now, the Going Merry exists as a tangible thing. And just like the Merry and every other ship, town, or village in the show, this world feels so real and lived in. It's all just so cool. And I couldn't have the ship without the crew either. It's their home after all. Live action One Piece was something I was not sold on until the show was right on top of us. I didn't see how real people could capture the emotions of the manga, and yet, they did. The problems I had with the show are minor and easily mendable. The positivity I have is next level. If they play their cards right, this could be the best show Netflix has ever produced, and I'll be a supporter right up until the end. If you haven't watched it, watch it. You'll have a great time. I promise. And with that, I'm back, I think. Maybe. 6-month sabbatical ain't bad. If you want to know where I've been, you could check out my Instagram account. That's where I'm mostly active nowadays. And I posted this whole series there, along with a few others that haven't made it to the channel yet. But on YouTube, I have several ideas for future videos. Stuff I've never done before, actually. But if you'd like to see more One Piece, including anime-based characters, let me know. And it's been quite a while since I've said this. But until next time, later.